mature, you then can move to the senior level. And it's something that one day I will progress into.
Is there a process of initiation to enable you join at the senior level?
At the senior level?
Yes.
I haven't joined, so I'm unable to tell.
How would you react to a person who does not know about the value system in the Night of St. John and denigrates sin? How would you react?
Night of St. John, we are taught the values of Christ, Christ-like, tolerance. And so we will take such criticisms in our stride, and if there's an opportunity to educate them, like this huge platform is giving me the opportunity to share what we were taught, I would definitely share such thoughts with such a person.
So you agree with me that those who do not belong to this society and this order would not know the tenets of this order, correct?
I mean, so
you need to belong to know. If you don't, you are not a member, you wouldn't know. You agree with me?
I mean, unless you're a medical doctor, you are not likely to know the nitty-gritties of what we do.
I want to be very short with you. Just like Dr. Fiamakpo, my respected classmate, said, just go straight to the point, because I know some of your guys are anxious. I would be as short as possible with you if you just stay to the course. What I'm saying is that those who are not members of this fraternity within the Catholic Church would not know its tenets, correct?
They will know some of them, but not all.
Let me stay there briefly with you. It is not open to everybody, correct?
It is
outside of the church.
No,
you must first be a Catholic. And being a Catholic, you must elect to be part of it.
Yes.
It's not the only society in the Catholic Church.
No.
So if you are not a member of that society, you wouldn't know its value system and practices. You would agree with me?
Because we do membership drive, we share some of these value systems. And I remember even those days in Pope John, I mean...
So my point is that if you are not a member, or you've not had the benefit of knowing the values of the society, you wouldn't know.
Exactly. That's like any other.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me understand you on your employment history. Page 2 of your CV. Let me know when you get there.
Yeah.
You're there. So, item 2, you didn't number it, but the point 2, policy advisor and political strategist to President John Dramani Mahama, 2017 to 2024. Were you on salary? Were you paid?
No.
Very well. As private medical practitioner, Afra International Hospital, 2019 to 2022, was it on salary?
Not on salary, but on... there was compensation, but not on like monthly salary as had been structured.
So were you performing some services and being paid?
No. For the periods that I worked, I could work, let's say, for 1 month, sometimes 2 months, and then it will be accumulated and paid.
How were you paid?
I don't understand your question. How?
I mean, you said that there was some compensation, not salary per se. You said not salary per se, the monthly salary. That's what you just said.
Yes.
Right, but you were paid.
Yes.
Were you paid on the table, cash on the table, or they paid through your account, direct transfer, or they issued you a check anytime the employer needed to pay you?
It was paid directly.
Cash on the table, you mean?
Not cash on the table. Cash
Doc.
in envelope.
Cash in envelope?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, you would agree with me? You would agree with me, Dr. Kwame, are you a free? The nominee, who is your cousin, is on oath, and you are having a convo with him. And honorable nominee, my respected friend, you are on oath. You are supposed to stay away from all external convo. Is that okay?
Very well.
Very well. Now, you would agree with me that since you were receiving your salary, your compensation, your pay in an envelope, cash in an envelope, you would agree with me that you wouldn't know whether your employer was paying your tax or not.
I wouldn't know, but I have no reason to doubt that the employer will not pay.
Have you, within the period 2019 and 2022, did your employer, Afra International Hospital, furnish you with evidence of payment of taxes on your behalf?
No.
Given the opportunity, would you furnish this committee with proof of your taxes being paid for the period 2019 to 2022, where you, as Dr. Omane Boamah, had to receive your salary in an envelope, cash on the table in an envelope?
Definitely, since it's the responsibility of the employer, I can contact the employer. And if that is what you need, definitely.
It's statutory. It's not that what I need, with respect. I mean, when we work, we're supposed to pay. It's our duty to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And you are coming into public service. That's why you stated it on your CV. That's why I'm doing this inquisition.
Yeah.
So it's not that I need. The state needs it. Now, let me move to the next point. If I understand your CV, page 2, correctly, you are saying that the last time you were gainfully employed was November 2022, correct?
Not necessarily. And I take it as, if not well structured, it will be as if I had no income from December 2022. I had. And because I'm directly responsible for that, I even have documents to prove the tax aspect of that.
Look, I'm taking it step by step. on your CV, point 1 on your CV, you have told this honorable committee that you worked between 2019 to November 2022. In fact, for the 2019, you did not provide us which month you started working with AFRA. Would you be able to provide us with the month you started working?
I'll check it.
Very well. That's fair. Now, in this employment, were you given a letter of appointment? Were you given a letter where your conditions of service were spelled out? Were you?
I was given a letter of appointment, and let me capture the context very well for you. It was a very teething hospital that I had to provide my service to support them to stand on their feet. And so, even at the initial stage, it was subsequently that the payments commenced. But I was okay because it was a service that I was rendering. It helped me also to sharpen my skills, not to go stale, while still serving my party. So yes, there was a letter of appointment along the line as a practitioner there. What I recall is the exact details of it, but I believe if I go through...
So, if you say you received an appointment letter along the line,
yeah.
Are you suggesting to this honorable committee that ab initio you were not issued with an appointment letter, which letter would have to trigger a commencement of
Initially, no, but the evidence abounds because a lot of the clinical work that we did were computerized. So if you want confirmation of my practice, you can find it directly on the digital platforms of the hospital.
Okay, Doc, so let's go back. On the November, you said you ended your employment in November. And I was asking you that from November 2022 up until now, have you been employed by any entity again, or that your services at AFRA International extended beyond November?
No, it didn't. And it was because around that time, I needed to help my party organize a national congress. And then after that also, we had our presidential primaries. I couldn't
that's fair enough. That's fair.
Time, and subsequently became director for elections and IT.
Doc,
and so I didn't.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So let me ask you this. So you will agree to the suggestion that your work as director of IT was not an employment, correct?
I won't see it as an employment unless you want to construe it.
Well, let me qualify. Did you earn any salary or were you being paid any allowance as a director of IT?
Occasionally.
Were you paying tax on that allowance?
I paid subsequently.
What do you mean by you paid subsequently?
I've addressed all my tax obligations.
Take it easy. Doc, take it easy. I don't want us to make it clumsy. I don't want us to be all over the place. Take it easy. I want us to deal with the issue step by step. You're going to be our defense minister. Just step by step. Employment is employment. And I want to know from you that after the AFRA International Hospital, November 2022, it ended. Right? You've into the mic. Your response should go into the mic. Yes. And you've also told us that because of your pay attention, flag bearership, election, and all, so you were occupied with that work, correct?
Correct.
So what I want to know from you is that January to December 2023, January to December 2024, were you doing any work of which you were earning salary or that you were being paid allowances?
And I've answered that as Director for Elections and IT, occasionally we were given allowance. And I've also added that for that period, 2023 and 2024, I have ensured that the requisite taxes have been paid.
I'm saying that.
But I know where you are going. That's why I'm.
Dog. Easy with me.
And it's here.
Chairman, you know that I have my good friend seated to your right. Please take it easy. Let's pick one at a time, so that we can end this thing quickly. I beg of you.
Yeah.
Is that okay? All right. Now, between 2023 and 2024, you are telling this committee that your earnings, the only thing you earn, came from your job as Director of IT at your party headquarters, where you were being paid occasional allowance. Is correct?
Yeah. So, Mr. Chairman, this is where there was a need for me to explain this. I don't know what you see as earnings per your definition. But for instance, I have investment which I earned from, some of which have been affected by the haircut, the financial haircut. You understand? So I put all these together as my earnings, not just the limited occasional allowance that we had. And that's why I said, I know where you are heading. Because if you don't understand the question, I don't even attempt to answer it. I knew where you were heading. And that's why I said, for 2023 and 2024, that I had that personal responsibility to pay on what I was earning for those years. I have satisfied my tax obligations.
Honorable nominee.
And the committee has the tax clearance certificate before us.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Honorable nominee. You provided me with some additional information on your investment, which has suffered from haircuts. We'll deal with that separately. But let me ask you, the allowances that you are receiving, occasional allowances that you were receiving as Director of IT from your party headquarters, were these allowances being paid into your account, or it was also in an envelope tabletop?
The Chairman, it was not paid into my account.
How did you receive it?
I normally will keep it with my directorate, and then as and when I have to spend from it, I authorize.
So you were receiving it cash? In other words, cash?
I
Because these were allowances.
Interestingly, I never went to even receive it myself on any occasion. So I will not be able to tell. But what I know is that whenever I wanted an expenditure effected on my behalf, I will instruct and it will be spent via Momo.
Okay, so you were receiving occasional allowance. This allowance that you received, which was an earned allowance, you had earned it, it's an income. Did you find out from your party, the director of finance of your party, whether these allowances that were paid you, perchance, they deducted taxes from it?
No.
Given the opportunity, would you want to furnish us with evidence of taxes being deducted from these allowances from your party headquarters?
Yes, if it's available.
Now, do you know how much in total 2023, 2024 you earn by way of allowances that were paid you?
I wouldn't know. I would have to check.
Okay. So we are dealt with the 2023-2024. On record, you are saying that though you received some allowances, these allowances, you never picked them directly. You normally left them with the directorate, and as and when you needed some, same was transmitted to you via Momo, correct?
Not to me.
To spend, okay. So these allowances that you earned, you ended up spending them on party activities, correct?
Some on party activities, some also on other
benevolence.
People, yes, on other people. Who,
benevolence.
On other people who depend on
needed on supports. All right. Now, so we have dealt with one leg of it. Now let's come to the information you volunteered, though it's not on your CV. Your other assets. You're saying that you have some investment, and these investments suffer some haircuts, and that you had some earnings. May I know from you, in the year 2023, how much you earned on your investment?
Chair, I wouldn't be able to sit here, and I believe the honorable member cannot answer same for
I'm not on oath, with respect. I'm not on oath. I'm not on oath
to answer this accurately.
Doc,
And because I'm on oath, I'm on oath, I wouldn't want to give a figure that I will not be able to.
Right, so that is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. I wouldn't overstretch it. So, given the opportunity, Chairman, given the opportunity, will you be able to furnish this committee with how much you earn in 2023 from your investment? Will you be able to furnish us with it?
Yes, I will.
2024. Did
Public
you
Bank.
2024? Did you earn some income on your investment?
Yes.
Given the opportunity, would you be able to?
Bank.
Very well. Now, in your tax assessment, did the Ghana Revenue Authority have the opportunity of knowing all that you had earned by way of investment income?
Yes.
Please, since you have your tax returns with you, let's. Now, it's a one-page document. Do you have it with you, please? You've stated there, 2023, turnover 34,858. It is stated there, yes. Turnover 34,858. Chargeable income 34,858. Is it the case that you provided these figures to GRA, or they sifted same from the document you provided?
I have a tax person who helps me to do it. So I provided the information. Around their ages, and then when it comes to appointing old people, we seem to think that is okay.
Relax, you are not in a box. You are not in the box. Back to your CD. You have Republic Bank and allow ask you, then you as But within the period, the information ministry was collapsed.
It was realigned. It was merged with the Ministry of Communications.
Doc, have you had the opportunity when your party was drafting, was enacting its
Honorable Dominic Nito,
Did you play any role?
Yes, because we served on the transition committee,
the defense policy
together,
of the manifesto.
And I had to also, as chairperson for two subcommittees, I had to also sit in as chair for the infrastructure subcommittee, and he was the chairperson.
Whether
so we co-chaired that
committee level,
and subsequently we
after
also
the document is
discussed the Ministry of Defense when
to review the entire
my appointment was
and
announced.
I remember very well reviewing the 2024 one.
But your date of birth,
far away,
you were 75 born, correct?
London when the document was sent to me.
And
I,
per the public records of Honorable Nitu, he's a 1977 born. I'm letting excluding that to you.
He's my junior brother.
I'm saying that he's a 77 born. So, with the benefit of that,
it was a very active process.
So, what inspiration? What you suggesting to this committee? You draw from him. He being younger your age,
I was asked
but
to
having successfully
manifesto.
Managed the ministry
Mr. Chairman,
for 8 years.
I was
How does that inspire you?
Yes.
As you get into
No. That's what I'm saying.
the ministry,
You are not in the box. Perhaps you didn't understand me. You see,
I don't think I would want to engage in
asking you very specific questions to
asking
enable
young
us to make
person
progress and finish
or
quickly.
old person.
You may
Look,
have to
young
pay
people
attention
in
to the
this
specific, the
republic
defense policy
have
of
served
your
our
manifesto.
nation very well.
I'm saying that the
Old
enactment
people have
of
also
the
served our nation very
defense policy in
well.
your
And the converse
manifesto.
is
Are
true.
you
Some
saying
young
that
people have also performed
was
terribly.
Dr. Omane
Some
Boamah
old
a
people
member
have also
of the
performed
defense
terribly.
subcommittee
So
of
I
the
always
manifesto
don't like it
committee?
when
So,
we try
Thank
to
you. No.
frame appointment of young people
Since you
around
had the
their
opportunity
ages, and then
to
when it comes to
engage
appointing old people,
the defense
we seem to
ministry
think that is okay.
and its hierarchy.
Yes, I've had the opportunity.
Relax, you are not
I've
in
also
the
had
box.
the opportunity to engage
You
members
are not in the box.
of the defense and subcommittee of the NDT manifesto.
Back to your CV.
Please share with us.
You
I
have
believe they've taken you through an 8-year
item 3
of an
on page 3,
administration,
page 2 of your CV.
the ups and downs. Share with us
Minister,
the success
Minister of
stories we
Communication.
shared with you during
February
this
2013
debriefing.
to January 2020,
Mr. Chairman,
2017. Then,
One,
next one,
we've been able to
spokesperson
sustain
to the President of the Republic of Ghana
no terrorist attack within
and Minister
the
responsible
territory of Ghana.
for information. July
Which is good for our
2014 to January
At the time
2017.
we were living off
Please
this,
clarify
there has
that
not
for
been any
us.
such attack. And as we speak, there has also not been any such
Thank you very
attack.
much, Mr. Chairman.
for our country.
The evidence speaks for
Again,
itself.
in
Between
terms of
2013 and
embarking
2017, I was the Minister for
the
Communications.
modernization of
So
the
for the
army,
entire 4 years,
the
I was the Minister for
Ghana Armed
Communications.
Forces.
Between July 2014,
You've seen,
that is 1.5 years
increase
after becoming Minister for
of
Communications,
course, right here around
Ministry of
this,
Information,
challenges
and
like
the responsibility to speak
regional
for
balance and the need to
the
ensure
president
equity and all
was
those things have also been
added
raised.
to my
And gender
portfolio.
and mainstreaming.
And so that
is also
also
something that,
lasted
I
up
would
to
say
January 2017. So if you put these
Then
two, let's say,
the
on a time scale,
FOBs,
you realize that the
that
Ministry of
forward
Communications
operating
one will start,
bases that are being
and the information
constructed.
one will be
Unfortunately,
1.5 years afterwards. But they all
implementation
terminated at the same
has not
point,
matched
January
the
2017,
intention
specifically
behind it.
6th
That is something
of
that
January.
I will pursue.
Which means that
Critically,
within the
if
period, the
given
Information Ministry was collapsed.
It was realigned.
Then,
it was merged with the Ministry of
In terms
Communication.
of modernization
Doc.
efforts, were being
When your
made
party
to
was
procure
drafting,
some
was
NAPA
enacting
vessel.
It's
intention
manifesto.
is one thing, being able to operationalize.
Did you play any
and
role
I believe because of the terrible
in the
economic
enactment
situation,
regarding
it became
the defense
difficult
policy
for the government
of the
to be able
manifesto?
to procure. Yes,
And
because and it's not just
we believe that
in 2024.
governance is a continuum. And when we say we want to
Since
modernize
2004,
the Ghana Armed Forces,
I've always had
it is
the
not
privilege,
just a one-off thing.
whether
It's not an event.
directly
It will
at
take
the committee level
The incremental
or after
additions
the document
that
is
successive governments
put together
will be
to
engaging
review the
to
entire
be able to get
document. And I remember very well reviewing the
countries' armed
2024 one.
forces to the
I
level
was
that it must.
far away in
And then,
London
if I may add,
when
also
the document was sent to me.
alternate to
and
37
I
military
reviewed it.
hospital that is also being considered. I have not seen it.
So you were not
Physically, so I
actively
cannot,
part, so to speak.
Tell
Actively part
the-
how to
The
review
stage where it is,
an entire
financing,
document is a very
financing
laborious
arrangements,
and
and
energy
everything.
sapping.
But at the right time, I believe Parliament will be
job.
seized with the right funds
So it was
about them.
a very active process.
So you've outlined
So
7
What,
success stories
what you're suggesting to this
that at
committee is
least
that
the ministry
You-
has shared with you
you were being
as achievement
prepared for
the
this
past 8
portfolio
years.
from what you just said.
Also said that
I was asked to review the entire manifesto.
terrible
Mr.
economic
Chairman, that could
situation
mean I was being
You mean the
prepared.
entire manifesto?
Yes.
has affected
Okay.
It mean
No, no,
I
no.
was,
That's what I'm saying.
prepared for.
one
Wait.
particular.
You see, Doc, earlier I
But it
said,
has through.
take it
Right,
easy, you are
that's
not in
true.
the box.
Alright.
Perhaps you didn't understand me.
Now,
You see,
in terms of
I am asking you very
The-
specific questions to
Our
enable
military.
us make progress and finish quickly.
in your briefing,
You may have to pay attention to the specifics.
did you,
When you do general, then I may have
come
to do some
across
follow-ups.
any
You get what I mean? So please you pay
information
attention.
to
Let's deal
the
with the
fact that
defense policy of your manifesto. I'm saying that the enactment of the
men and women
defense policy in
in
your
uniform
manifesto,
are owed
were you
salaries
part of that enactment?
because of the
Can you
economic
explain? Are
situation
you saying
we find
that
ourselves, whether they are
was Dr. Omane Boamah
salary
a member
payment is not
of
up to
the
date?
defense
Was there any such
subcommittee of the
information?
I didn't
manifesto committee?
inquire
Thank you.
about that.
No.
That is something that we can ascertain.
Since
given the
Your
opportunity, would you want to
nomination
ascertain and get
was
this committee to know?
sent to
I believe
Parliament,
this is information that
have you had the
Parliament
opportunity
even will have much more
to
power
engage
to derive
the
it
defense ministry
a minister
and
designated.
its hierarchy?
It is even out of courtesy
Yes.
and in
I've had the
advancement of our
opportunity,
democracy
and I've also had the
that a
opportunity
ministry entertain
members of
a minister designate.
our defense
So
subcommittee
if Parliament wants to
of the NDC
write to
armed
the
forces.
appropriate quarters, I cannot
You
sit
see,
here and pass a value judgment
increase
of the many things
of
that
course,
were
right
discussed.
here around this table,
How they
challenges
should have
like
prioritized
regional
ends
balance
up
and the need
that
to ensure equity and all those things have
that
also been raised.
my thing may not be the exact
Mainstreaming.
situation.
That is also something.
So I'm
that,
pleading
Well,
I
question
would say
asked and answered.
was shared.
Let's make progress. Honorable
Then
Member.
the FOBs, that is the forward operating basis that are
Honorable nominee, my next
Unfortunately,
set of questions
implementation
will be
has not matched
anchored on some
the
documents.
intention behind it, and
to
that
be
is
fair
something that
To you,
I will
I've
pursue
made copies and I've
critically if I'm given
actually labeled
note.
them. And I have
Then,
sets of questions and I'm giving
in
that
terms
to you.
of
Those documents to you. I have those sets of documents.
modernization
So,
efforts,
with the leave of chairman,
were
we'll
being
pass it through
made
the clerk
to procure
so that you have it.
some
And then
naval
we'll do some exercise
vessel
on that. Is that
banks.
fair?
Please do.
intention is one thing, being able to operationalize it. And I believe because of the terrible economic situation, so it became difficult for the government to be able to procure it. And so we believe that governance is a continuum. And when we say we want to modernize the Ghana Armed Forces, it is not just a one-off thing. It's not an event. It will take the incremental additions that successive governments will be engaging in to be able to get these armed forces.
Honorable
to the
Madam
level
nominee
that
needs
it must
attention to it so that he can also be on the same page.
be. And then, if I may
Thank
add,
you very much, sir.
also the
Thank you, Chairman.
alternate to 37 military hospital, that is also
Let's
being considered. I have not
I've
seen
numbered
it
them, please.
physically, so not
Okay. Please,
tell
let's deal with
the stage where it is,
number 6. Please.
financing arrangements and everything. But at the right, I believe it's meant to be seized with the right facts about them.
Please, are you there with me?
So you've outlined 7 success stories.
On number 6,
The ministry has shared
was
with
that
you
document authored by you, please?
as achievement for the past 8 years. You've also said that
The
the
MPP stopped spreading fake
terrible
news from the
economic
Flagstaff
situation,
House. We know the
has
Boamah
affected,
campaign admits J.D. Mahama will win the
one
December
particular,
7 elections. The NDC is not
It has to-
complacent.
right,
J.D.
Castro,
Mahama is
right.
focused on winning
Now,
with
in terms
2/3
of
majority in parliament.
the-
MPP fixed Dumso and the
Line 1,
our
first,
military,
first sentence.
in your briefing,
At
did
the
you
time you wrote this,
come across
was there any such place
information to
called
the effect
Flagstaff
that
House?
Mr. Chairman,
the men and
it
women
is only by
in
the
uniform are owed
good nature of President Mahama
salaries
that
because of
his administration has sustained
economic
the
situation,
name as
the
Jubilee
finances.
House.
Whether they
Otherwise,
are owed,
by now, the
their
name
salary payment is not
would have been
up to date.
changed to Flagstaff
Was
House
there any
again.
such information?
I didn't
You all knew the place as Flagstaff House. So
inquire
if
about that. That is something
you are
that
referring
we
to
can ascertain.
the seat of the president, that is Jubilee
Given the
House,
opportunity, would you
then
want to ascertain
that
and
was
get
referring to
this
the
committee
Jubilee
to
House.
know?
But
I believe
everybody
this is
knows in this
information
country,
that
and this was
Parliament even
this is
will
not
have
an
much
official
more power
document. This is
to derive it.
social media. If I
Done.
write Flagstaff
Minister
House, everybody
designate.
knows exactly where I'm referring to.
It is even out of courtesy
Dr.
and in advancement of our
Edward
democracy
Kofi
that a ministry
Omane
will entertain a minister designate.
I'm
So
asking you a
if
very simple
Parliament
question.
wants to know
That
whether there are
from
salary
this
arrears
post,
regarding the military,
was
it
there
would be good for
any
Parliament to
place
request.
by Flagstaff House? If
Unfortunately,
you
there's the
want
finance
to
minister in place. Maybe through
say
that channel,
that you were
we'll be
referring
able
to
to have
Jubilee House, say so.
good responses.
Yes, I was referring to Jubilee House.
Very well.
Honorable nominee, you are the
Mr.
secretary
Chair.
minister designate.
But isn't it
You've received
interesting
briefing.
that
And obviously,
the 2/3 majority
the
in
income,
Parliament,
the salaries of soldiers, such a critical
is
thing.
something that if I discuss today,
It's not something to be taken for granted.
I must be a
I'm
very
saying
good
that-
poster.
Don't you think that if
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
November or December
Very good poster indeed.
were to be outstanding, you would have been
Chairman,
told in the briefing?
If,
It's my value
if you are
judgment
encouraged
that you are seeking
by
to
what the nominee
derive on something
would
that
want to veer into,
the answer should be
and I
factual.
take him there.
So I'm
Don't
saying that
again
if
say
Parliament
that
wishes to
time.
know this,
I
Parliament
have
should
I have
write to
asked
the
him a very
appropriate
simple question,
quarters.
and I've moved away.
I cannot
If now
sit here and
that
pass
is
a
the
value
style of the
judgment
nominee. There's no
of the
problem.
thing of the
I
many things
would, I
that were
would want
discussed,
us to get in there.
how they should have prioritized that.
Well,
I don't want to go in that
Let's come to
direction. What if I think so?
Number 2.
And it ends up that that my thinking may not be the exact situation. So I'm pleading.
Well, question asked and answered. Let's make progress.
Read for me the first sentence. Read for me the first
Honorable nominee,
sentence.
my next
You labeled
set
this
of
as number
questions
Yes. Is there?
will be
Yes.
anchored on some
Lest we
documents. To be fair to you, I've made copies and I've
To the second one.
actually labeled them.
Sloganeers
And I have sets
Ghana
of
Beyond
questions, and I'm giving that to you.
afflicted Ghanaians with
Those
unprecedented
documents to you.
unemployment
Those sets of documents.
and choking
So,
national debt,
with the leave of chairman,
leading to
we'll
pensioners
pass it through the clerk
demonstrating.
so that you have it, and then we'll do some exercise on that. Is that fair?
Please do.
You stand by that.
True, I stand by it.
Very well. That's fine.
Which document are you?
Still on 2.
Unfortunately, I don't have that here. That is not on the 2 I have.
So, Honorable Minority Leader, you do us a favor, the particular one that you are referring to. You draw the nominee's attention to it so that he can also be on the same page with you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Chairman.
So that we can have different twos.
Let's
Of the twos now.
I've numbered them, please.
The one that was just brought
Okay.
to you, let's focus on
Please, let's deal with
Yeah.
number 6, please.
that one. Read for me the first paragraph or first sentence.
Criminal MPP.
First sentence.
Please, are you there with me?
That is read. Criminal MPP collaborating with some
On
criminal minors
number 6,
to register minors in Ashanti region.
was that document authored by you?
You stand by that.
That was a report I received, and at that time, we even
MPP
sent
stop spreading fake news from the Flagstaff House.
the
We
photos
know the
and
Baumia campaign
NIA
admits
card.
J.D. Mahama will win the December 7 elections.
It was during the registration.
The NDC is
It was our
not
team
complacent.
that
J.D.
were going
Mahama
around.
is focused on winning
That brought
with
the report.
2/3 majority in parliament.
Mr. Chairman,
MPP fixed
there
Dumso
is
and the
no
economy.
way I'll
Yes.
put out
Now,
information
let's deal with line 1.
that it's not may get
Line
it
1,
wrong. But in this
first-
case, they sent
First sentence.
No.
images of the Ghana card and images of the
At the
children
time you wrote this,
to us.
was there any such
That was it.
place called
Because
Flagstaff
I have
House?
always maintained that there is always so much
Mr. Chairman,
that you could use against your
it is
opponent,
only by the
particularly the MPP
good nature
administration
of
that
President
just
Mahama
left
that
So
his
there's no
administration
need
has sustained
to double
the
in,
name as Jubilee House.
rhetoric
Otherwise, by now, the
that
name
could
would
not
have been
be
changed to
verified. I was the
Flagstaff
very
House
person
again.
who
We all knew the
pursued for
place as
7
Flagstaff
months
House. So if
the chunk of ballot papers
you are referring
that were
to
arrested
the seat of the
on the
president,
7th of
that
December.
is Jubilee House, then
I have the
that
evidence
was referring
how I
to
authorized
the Jubilee House.
operation
But
the
everybody
6th of
knows in this country,
January
and this
around
was
10 p.m.
this is not an
how
official
I finally
document. This
authorized
is
the operations
social media. If
around
I write
midday of the
Flagstaff
7th of
House,
December.
everybody knows exactly where I'm referring to.
and it proved
Dr.
to be true. So I'm saying
Edward
that I will never,
Kofi
never,
Omane
never
Boamah,
concoct something.
you are on oath.
Never.
I'm asking you
Please,
a
you've
very
answered the
simple
question. Any further question?
That
Did
from
you
this
verify
post,
the
was
supposed
there
information
any place by
to ascertain-
Flagstaff House? If you want to
8 authenticity
say
proud
that
to
you were
author-
referring to Jubilee House, say so.
Yes, I was referring to
you
Jubilee
authored.
House.
Very well.
Thank you very much. At that time, we had all
But isn't
great
it
effort
interesting that
demanded even NIA
the 2/3
even
majority in
district by
parliament,
district issuance of Ghana cards.
okay,
NIA wouldn't budge.
it's something that if I discuss today,
I must be a very good
Was
poster.
I to verify this
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
from?
Very good
If your
poster
officers
indeed.
on the ground have sent you the evidence that
Chairman,
this is Ghana card,
if you are
a minor
encouraged
that is being
by
registered.
what the nominee would want to veer into,
If I could,
and
have
I
any
take him
other
there,
way of
don't
verifying,
again
why not?
say
I would
that
have.
time.
But
I have
no doubt
I have asked him a very simple question
about it,
and
I'm
I've
saying
moved
that
away. If now
all
that
the
is the style
sources,
of the nominee,
including,
there's no problem.
sources.
Honorable
And I
nominee,
would
the
want
question
us
has
to
been
get in
answered.
there.
Let's make progress.
Yo.
Honorable nominee,
Well,
try as much as
I don't really
possible
mind
to
the
avoid
invitation.
repeating the answers. Just go straight to provide an answer to the question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's come to
Thank you, Chair.
number 2.
Doc,
Lawyer,
the criminal NPP that
Read for
state
me the first
somebody
sentence. Read for
MPP
me the first
does not
sentence.
operate in name.
Lest we forget.
MPP operates through
Yes.
individual
You label this as number 2.
party members.
Yes, is there?
What you wrote.
Yes.
You
Lest
said,
we
among
forget.
other things, that your officers on the ground gave you some feedback,
Move
and you
quickly
had
to
no
the
reason
second
to
one.
doubt them.
The MPP sloganeers of
Were they able to provide you
beyond
with
aid.
names of individuals
afflicted Ghanaians with unprecedented
who, according
unemployment
to them,
and choking national
were
debt,
involved in this criminal
leading to
act?
pensioners demonstrating?
yes, at the time they did. It's unfortunate, I mean, like we all do. I
You
cannot
stand by that?
trace
True, I stand by
to
it.
get
Very well.
those details.
That's fine.
But if my memory serves me right, I can even mention the particular constituency
Did you
where
author-
that thing was taking place.
Criminal MPP collaborating with some
Honorable
criminally minded
nominee,
officials.
there's no need to mention the particular
Which
constituency. So
document
let's
are
make
you?
progress.
Still on 2.
So you do not really
Unfortunately,
have
I don't have that here.
available to you the names of those individuals who were involved in this criminal act that you refer to in your post.
That is not
At this
on
time, I don't.
the
At the
two
time, I
have.
did. Because I've dealt with far more critical issues, data of corrupted voters, register files, and all those things. At the time, I did. At this time,
So the
no.
2 are. Now let's name
we
1,
go
2
to
are
3?
later, so that we can have
Is this
different
3?
2s. We have 2 of the 2s now.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Has it been marked?
The one that was
Yes,
just brought to you,
Mark.
let's focus on
What
that
is
one.
the
Yeah.
headline there? Can you read?
Omane Boamah
Identify
condemns
that as your-
MPP's liberal land
As your document. A document that you authored.
Yes.
Read for me the first paragraph or first sentence.
Did you
Criminal MPP
write
collaborating with some criminally minded officials to register minors in Ashanti region. A minor with Ghana card.
First sentence.
tell us
That
the basis of
criminal MPP collaborating with some criminally minded officials to register minors in Ashanti region.
state lands?
The basis
Do you
is that
stand by that?
That was a report I received.
lands are
And
administered.
at that time, they
by
even
the
sent
government. The lands are administered
photos
by the
and the NIA card of the minors. It was during the
From the
registration
narration,
exercise. It was our
people
team
who,
that were
trying
going
to
around
take possession
that brought the
at
report.
2 a.m.
Mr.
They
Chairman,
have claimed
there is
was
no
this.
way I'll put
who
out
else
information
can give the land to them
that
apart
is
from
not
the government of the day.
coming from a credible source.
Doc,
At best,
I've
that
known
a
you for
credible
some
source
very long
may
time.
get it
And
wrong. But in this case,
I
you sent
know what is the political statement.
images of the
and
Ghana
what
card,
is a
images
statement of
of the
fact.
children.
In the
us.
story, referring to
That was
Ghana
it.
International School,
Because I have always maintained
the
that there is
security
always so much
and the fact that
that
somebody
you could
followed
use
that
against
tipper
your
truck
opponent,
to pour some
particularly
gravel.
the MPP administration that just left
In all fairness,
office. So there's no
is there
need
anything
to double
stating
in
that the person had actually
rhetorics
acquired
that
the land
could not
from
be
the
verified.
state and
I was
that
the
person
very
is an
person
MPP?
who pursued for 7 months the chunk of
I
ballot
think
papers
you are-
that were arrested
But I
on the
think
7th
you are
of
taking it as
December.
when we say a land looter,
I have the
It is
evidence
just the
how
one
I authorized
who is going to
the
benefit
operation the 6th of
the beneficiary.
January
No.
around 10 p.m. and how I finally authorized the operations
Educators, I'm happy.
around midday
in fact,
of
I
the 7th
can
of
delve into
December.
this and stay here for a little while. No
And-
problem.
and
In
it
fact,
proved
in fact,
be
I
true.
think,
So
I
I'm saying
think,
that
I
will
think when
never,
it comes to land
never
looting,
concoct something.
we,
Never.
the
Please, you've
politicians
answered
in
the question.
office
Any further question?
who sit and allow
Did you
this
verify
unquestionable enterprise to happen
the supposed
are
information?
more looters than even those who benefit from it.
Honorable nominee, are you familiar with Cantonment? Very well.
I've lived there for
To
7
ascertain
years, so
We had
from
all,
2010
with great effort, demanded
all
even
the way to
even publish district by district issuance of Ghana cards.
2016.
NIA
So
wouldn't budge.
I'm familiar with Cantonment.
Are you familiar with how land transactions between
Was
the
I
state
to verify this fraud?
private persons?
If your officers on the ground have sent you
Are you
the
familiar
evidence
with it?
that
I
this
don't
is
know the
Ghana card
extent that you are alluding
minor-
to, so I will not be able to
that is
say
being registered.
yes.
If I could have any other way of verifying, why not?
Are you
I
familiar
would
with
have.
bridge?
Yes, at
But
least
I had no doubt
your drive past Rich.
about it. And I'm saying that
You are
all
aware
the
that
sources, including
in the
theft
bridge area,
of biometric
we have
voter
state
registration
land. You are
kits from the headquarters of the
you
Electoral
are aware
Commission,
that
I got
in
them
the
from
Roman
sources.
rich
Honorable
area,
nominee,
we have
the
state
question
land.
has been answered. Let's make progress.
You are aware that
Honorable nominee,
the Laboni
try as much as
Cantonment
possible
enclave,
to
we have
avoid
state lands.
repeating the answers. Just go straight to provide
Cantonment,
an
yes,
answer to the
Laboni,
question.
Thank you.
maybe
Thank
Laboni
you.
Secondary School. Yes.
Thank you,
I
Chair.
don't know about any other places where
Doc,
you have at Laboni.
Lawyer,
the
So
criminal
this
NPP
looting, and
That's-
you've emphasized
statement, if somebody,
something there. That
MPP
looting of
does not
state land
operate
by
in name,
politicians in office.
MPP
It's
operates
unconscionable
through individual
politicians to.
party members.
I mean, complete
and
that.
leaders.
I mean, I just want you to provide.
I'm not
clarity.
sure I'll be
In
able
your
to
earlier
quote
answer,
the exact words and since I'm on
trying to
record,
justify
so maybe the table of
what you wrote,
get that. But
you said, among other
you can
things,
summarize it to
that
capture the import of
your officers on the ground gave you some
On what
feedback
basis
and you had no
relate
reason to doubt them.
GIS land?
Were they able to provide you with
GIS is
names of
acquiring the land
individuals
from the state, by the way.
who,
You are aware of
according
that?
to them, were involved
that
in this
area-
criminal act?
With that area where GIS is situated.
yes, at the
And all
time,
the lands that GIS
it's unfortunate. I mean, like we all
GIS
trace
as an institution
back to get
owns
those
state land that
details.
GIS has acquired.
But
Do
if
you
my
know
memory
that?
serves me right, I can even mention a particular
I don't know that as a
constituency where that thing was taking place.
So if you don't know that as a fact,
It's-
on what
Honorable
basis
nominee, there's
would
no
you
need to
conclude
mention the
that
particular constituency.
somebody
So let's make
alleging,
progress.
GIS alleging that portions of it land
So you do not really
being
have
taken by
available
or an individual
to you the names of those individuals
looting
who were involved in this criminal
I think
act that you refer to in your post?
Your
At this time, I don't. At the time, I
what
did.
Ghana Web
Because I have dealt with far more
the source was
critical
not just Ghana Web about this discussion.
issues, data of
So don't
corrupted
restrict yourself to just Ghana Web.
voters, register files,
It was
and all those
about
things. At the time, I did. At this time,
Allocation
no.
that
And we go to
it
3.
had been allocated,
Is this
and that is why the individuals
Yes,
had gone
please.
there.
Thank you.
Has it been marked 3?
Yes, it's been marked 3.
What is
Ghana
the
Web here
the
is
head-
only publishing my post and
headline
adding
there?
what I
Can you
call
read?
the
Omane Boamah
editorial
condemns MPP's liberal
aspect
land
of the
looters.
post. So we need to separate where.
So read aloud your post. Let's deal with your post. Let's forget about Ghana Web. Let's deal with
Did
your
you
post. Read
write
aloud your post.
Unfortunately,
that
my post is
NPP had looted state
even
land? Did you write that?
Yes, I did.
even here. It's
Tell
just
us the basis
headline.
of
the actual
your
post is not
assertion
here.
that
The entire thing
MPP
becomes a story, and even
had looted
Ghana Web
state land.
sources it
The
to
basis
a
is
different
that
media house.
the
So we need to distinguish.
lands are administered by
I know you
a
to be a very
government.
sincere person,
Very, very.
and I respect you.
The
for
lands
that.
are administered by a government.
You are on the oath.
And
You see,
from the narration
read
of the people
read,
who
read the
were trying to
entire-
take
Read
possession,
the entire document.
At
Read
2 a.m.
everything.
they
Read
had claimed
everything.
it
The
was
Director of
theirs.
Elections and IT for the opposition.
Who else can give the land
Kofi Omane
to them
Boamah has condemned what he
apart
described
from
as
the government
activities
of the
land
day?
looters under the current New Patriotic administration.
Doc,
His comments come after
I've
an
known you
attempted
for some
land
time.
at
Very
GIS
long
in
time.
Cantonments
And
was filed by the
I
school's
know
security
what
team
is
and
a
local
political
police.
statement
Mr. Boamah in the Facebook
and what is a
dated
statement of
September 5,
fact.
2024
in the
praised
story.
the school's management for standing firm
to
against what
Ghana
he termed
International
liberal
School.
land looters.
The
The
security
incident reportedly occurred
and the
in
fact
early
that
hours
somebody
of
followed
Saturday,
that
August
tipper
20,
truck
2024.
to pour some gravels and
When
all.
a tipper truck loaded with sand arrived
In
at
all
the school
fairness,
property's gate at around 2
is
a.m.,
there
attempting
anything
to dump its load on
stating
the land.
that the person
Frank
had
Mensah,
actually
principal of GIS,
acquired the
recounted that
land
the school's
from the state
personnel
and that person is an
acted
MPP?
swiftly and called in the Cantonments police for support. A
I
plainclothes
think you
individual
are
driving a Toyota
no,
Camry
but I
with
think you are
registration
taking
number
it
ER
as when we say a land
29723
looter,
also
it
arrived
is just the one
on the.
who is going to benefit
There's
from
something
it.
that is missing.
The
Insisting that
beneficiary.
the truck
No.
be allowed to enter.
No.
To
Educators, I'm happy.
In fact,
I want us to
think
delve
that is
into this and
also
stay here
missing.
for a little while. No
in
problem.
fact,
They capture
in fact,
everything
in fact, I
Also
think,
arrive on the
I
scene
think,
insisting that
I
the truck
think when
be
it comes to
allowed to
land,
enter
land
the property.
looting, we,
Okay.
the,
However, the combined efforts of the
politicians
school's
in office
security team and police officers
who sit
prevented
and allow
unauthorized
this
entry and
unconscionable
potential
enterprise
illegal
to happen
takeover of the land.
are
Expressing
more
gratitude to the
looters
security
than
team
even those
and
who
police,
benefit from it.
Mr. Boamah condemned the brazen attempt to seize the property. This is also
Honorable nominee.
obfuscated, but it's repeated here. Expressing gratitude.
Are
to
you
the
familiar with
security
Cantonment?
team
Very
and
well.
police. Mr. Boamah
I've lived there
condemned the
for
brazen attempt to
7
seize
years,
the property.
so
And
I
then
should be from
they quote me,
2010
but they have
all
put
the
something
way
there
to
and quoted.
2016.
It's not
Yeah, so
like this.
2016, 2017.
This
So
one I can identify.
Doc,
I'm familiar with
So they-
cantonments.
Doc,
Are you familiar with how
did
land
the
transactions
publications misquote
between the state
any aspect of your
and
post?
Honorable,
private
this is
persons
as far
take
back
place?
as
Are you familiar with it?
I don't know the
September
extent
2020.
that you
Yes,
are alluding
And
to,
under
so I will
oath-
not be able to say yes.
I will not. Look, if I see this,
Honorable nominee.
I know that this is my
Honorable nominee.
Are you familiar with
I wouldn't
Rich?
know.
When you are reminded
Yes, at least.
that you are
God
under
drive
oath,
us rich.
the question that
So-
followed is read
You are
your
aware
post.
that
And your response was to the effect that
in the ridge area,
this is not your
we have state
post.
lands there. You are
No,
aware.
this
Now,
is not like my Facebook.
You are aware
Post.
that
So now,
in the
what I
rural
would
ridge
want to
area,
do
we
is
have
that
state lands there.
if the
You
Honorable
are aware
Ranky
that
is having your post that he
in the
wants you to
Laboni
read,
Cantonment Enclave,
different
we have state
from
lands.
what they have written, based, somebody has written
yes,
based on
Laboni,
your
maybe Laboni
post.
Secondary School.
Then he can also read
Yes.
your post
I
louder.
don't know about any other places where
The thing is,
we may
if
have
it
at
had
Laboni.
come, let's say, if this
So
Yeah, I understand that this is somebody's story
looting,
based on your
and
post, but this is actually
you've
not your
emphasized
post.
I wouldn't be able to tell if
something
what
there.
is
Yes.
all of it
looting
Yes,
of state land
you.
by
But this is not your post.
politicians
That is why I'm saying that
in office.
if he by chance
It's
have your
unconscionable.
post as the result of which this publication was
politicians
made by another person,
I
then
mean,
he should be
complete
dealing
that,
with
sir.
you
I mean,
regarding
I just
your
want you to
post,
provide
but
that.
not
I'll
what
be able
somebody
to
has
evoke
written
the exact
based on your
words, and
post.
since I'm under oath, so maybe the typical office can get that. But you can summarize it to capture the import of what.
Because in
I meant.
effect, you are not the author of that.
On what basis
Are
did
you
you
the author of
relate
that?
GIS?
What you
land.
read, are you the author?
the
GIS itself
Yes.
acquiring the land from the state, by the way.
Right.
You are aware of that?
Thank you very much.
Because that area, that area where GIS is situated, and all the lands that GIS
Do you disagree with
GIS
the
as an institution
of
owns are state land that GIS has
publication,
acquired? Do you know that?
which publication refers to
I
your
wouldn't.
5th
I
September
don't know that as a fact.
Facebook post? Do you disagree
So
with the
if you don't know that as a fact, on what basis
I don't have.
would you conclude that somebody alleging, GIS alleging that
I shall proceed
portions of its land
to the next question. Since
being taken by
so this is the point I want
a
to make.
Ghanaian or an individual amount to NPP looting land
The
in
issue
Cantonment?
between
I think
so
you are basing
claimant
your discussion on what
the
Ghana Web
GIS
published. The source
The
was
issue
not just
between
Ghana Web about
that
this
claimant
discussion.
who was
So don't
claiming
restrict
part of
yourself
GIS.
to just what Ghana Web published. It was about allocation that
which came to
it
your
had
attention?
been allocated,
That very matter.
and that is why
Somebody claiming GIS land
the individuals had gone there at 2 a.m.
How
to do
that-
what
that
they were doing.
relates.
Ghana Web here is only publishing my post and adding what I will call their editorial aspect to the post. So we need to separate where.
So read aloud your post. Let's deal with your post. Let's forget about Ghana Web. Let's deal with your post. Read aloud your post.
Unfortunately, my post is not even
investor to want
even
to go and
here.
take GIS land
The headline.
without
The actual post is not here. The entire thing becomes a story, and even Ghana Web sources it to a different
but
media
for the
house.
purposes of today.
So we need to distinguish
say
that.
that
Doc,
because it was a private person.
I know you to be a very sincere person,
Very, very.
and I respect you for that. You
I
are
should
you
not
are
have
you are
linked it to
you are on the oath.
I
You
can
see,
understand you, but we can always get to the
read
bottom of this matter.
read the entire
To know
read the entire document.
who
Read
that
everything.
person is. And whether
Read
the person was
everything.
even acting
The director of elections and IT
someone.
for the opposition National
and know the
Democratic
processes
Congress,
that led
Kofi
to
Omane
that
Boamah, has
whole
condemned what he described as
invasion of
the
GIS
activities of
land
land looters
2 a.m.
under the current
So I
new
can
patriotic
understand what you are
administration.
saying. That
His
the
comments
person is
come
a
after
private
an
person
attempted land grab
acting on his
at
own
GIS in
without
Cantonment
any
Accra
authorization
was fought
from
by the
any
school's
government,
security
without
team
any
and local police.
documentation from any
Mr. Boamah,
government.
in a Facebook
And the
post
person
dated
just
September
went
5,
and decided
2024,
to take over
praised the school's
part of
management for
GIS.
standing firm against
If
what he
that is
termed
the
liberal land
that is being
looters.
expressed.
The
Then I
incident
agree with you
reportedly occurred in the
that
early hours of
I should
Saturday,
not have
August
added
29,
MPP to it.
2024, when a tipper truck loaded with sand arrived at the school properties
When
gate
the
at around
person
2
moved
a.m.,
in at
attempting
2
to dump its load on the land. Franklin Ponsa Mesa, principal of GIS, recounted that the school's security personnel acted swiftly and called in the cantonment police for support. A plainclothes individual driving a Toyota Camry with registration number year 29723 also arrived on there's something that is missing, insisting that the truck be allowed to enter
MPP to rate.
I would
not pursue. No, some of your guests
missing
are participating in this process. So let us spend a little time.
Also arrived on the scene, insisting that the truck be allowed to enter the property.
Do you concede?
Okay.
That,
however, the combined efforts of the school's security team and police officers prevented the unauthorized entry and potential illegal takeover of the land. Expressing gratitude to the security team and
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Boamah condemned the brazen attempt to seize the property. This is also obfuscated, but it's repeated here. Expressing gratitude to the security team and police, Mr. Boamah condemned the brazen attempt to seize the school's property.
That the
and then
was
they quote me, but they have put something there and quoted.
Authorization.
It's not like
decided to
like this. This one I can identify.
Then,
so they
should not have linked MPP to it. But this is a matter that I
the publication misquote any aspect of your post.
Honorable,
root
this
cause
is
of this particular
as far back as
because I know capital moves in
September
directions where SP
2024.
Yes,
please.
Sure.
And
I'm
under
very
oath,
surprised that an investor would do such a thing.
I will not.
It's possible. So why not?
Look, if I see this,
let's go by.
Honorable nominee.
I know that this is
honorable nominee.
If that
take
is
it easy.
so I wouldn't know.
When you are reminded that you are under oath,
you would agree with me.
the question that followed is read your post. Yeah. And your response was to the effect that this is not your post.
No, not like my Facebook
post. So now, what I will want to do is that if the Honorable Ranking is having your post that he wants you to read,
and even when you are
different from what they have written based, somebody has written based on your post, then you can also read your post louder.
No, the thing is, if it had come, let's say, if this,
yeah, I understand that this is somebody's story based on your post, but this is actually not your post.
I wouldn't be able to tell if what is in quotation marks, all of it is attributed
to you, but this is not your post. That is why I'm saying that if he by chance have your post as a result of which this publication was made by another person, then he should be dealing with you regarding your post, but not what somebody has written based on your post.
Perfect. If that is it, then I shouldn't have linked MPP to it. But trust me, and you know me, when I say I'll pursue something, I will pursue it.
Because in effect, you are not the author of that. Are you the author of that? What you've read, are you the author?
The entire document, no,
yes.
The journalist writing. Taking leave from.
Thank you very much. Let's make progress.
Have evidence at your honorable that
nominee.
It was.
Do you disagree with the content of
and same amounted to looting?
Publication, when publication refers to your 5th September Facebook post, do you disagree with the content?
Evidence was strong. However, if you want,
I don't have a disagreement with the content.
No.
Then, Chairman, I shall proceed to put you the necessary questions since you don't disagree.
Honorable nominee says,
so this is the point I want to make.
To verify is normally difficult. May I know from you whether you
issue
are aware
between
of
that so-called claimant,
the RTI
to part
law,
of
you are aware
the GIS
right to
land
information law that we passed.
The issue
as a public officer.
Claimant
I'm aware.
Who was
now? Did you explore
claiming part of GIS
relying on your rights under RTI to pursue this matter prior to putting out that post at the time?
Which came to your attention? that very matter
Honorable
of
leader,
somebody claiming
the
GIS
nominee
land.
is not a lawyer, so you
and
should
all.
find out from the
How
nominee
does
whether,
that
having realized that
relate
law, he
to
knows
NPP
any right available
looting?
for him under the law. First, then you can
Thank you
proceed
very
to
much, Mr.
ask
Chairman.
whether
I have said
he has
here
explored
that
that right.
Learned Senior, I take a cue from you. We are all learning here.
such
That's fair enough.
acquisitions
So-
or illegal acquisitions,
Back to your
Okay.
question so that we can make
the
progress.
person must be a very bold
You are aware of the existence of the right to information.
investor
I'm aware.
to want to go and take
You are
GIS
also
land
aware that under the law,
without
you as an ordinary citizen can invoke your right
Some
to request for any
authorization.
information from any public
But
institution.
if for the purposes
You are aware.
of today,
Mr. Chair, I
you
have
want
not
to say that
read the
because
law,
it was a private
but
person
it's an information that has come to my attention.
going to take GIS
However,
land,
just as the
So I
information
should not
that came
have
to my
linked it to
attention
the
through
NPP.
mass media,
I
is
can
being
understand you.
contested today,
But we can
I'm in a
always
dilemma.
get to the bottom of
whether
this matter
to push my understanding
to know
that that is the case, that I
who
can
that
apply,
person is and whether the
or
person was even
I cannot.
acting
But I strongly
on
believe
behalf
it's
of
something
someone.
that I can apply.
and know the
But it is
processes
not that I
that
have read
led
the
to
law.
that bold
It is that
invading of
it
GIS
is
land
understanding of the
at
law
2 a.m.
that I have gleaned.
So I can understand
discussions
what you are
on the
saying.
law. But
That
the right to
person is a
information
private
has
person
its own
acting on
issues.
his own
If you
without
talk to
any
anti-corruption,
authorization from
activists,
any
Honorable
government,
nominee,
without
Chairman gave
any
you a cue.
documentation from any government.
Chairman
And the
gave you a
person
cue.
just went and decided to take over
Specifics.
part of GIS's
Please,
land.
help matters.
If
Your
that
guests
is the view
are
that is
becoming
being
impatient with
expressed,
me.
then I agree
But
with
you
you
are the cause.
that
Now,
I
this
should not
2
have
a.m.
added MPP
this
to
2 a.m.
it.
intruder, whose action has
Especially
resulted
so,
in
honorable
this
nominee,
huge
when
post.
the person moved in at 2
Did you,
a.m.
the 2 a.m., the claimant to the one who
But
sent a
I-
truck, a tipper
when
truck
you are
to the
dealing
GIS land. That's
a matter,
the
and your
the reference
respected
point.
friend
I'm coming
or
back to a
brother
question there.
sincerely proceeding
did
another
a post
in a path,
based
you don't
on
litigate.
An individual
And I would
sending a tipper
say
truck
that
with
your honest
gravels
admission that
to be
it
poured
was inappropriate to
on
have
GIS,
linked
a portion of GIS
MPP
land,
to
which
it,
through the vigilance of
I would
the
not
security.
pursue. No, some of
The person was not
some of
successful.
your guests
Question.
are participating
This
in this
very
process. So
person,
let us spend a little time there.
Did you
Chairman,
get to know his name?
Honorable nominee,
Proud to the posting.
do you concede that the
Chair,
subject matter
no. However,
resulting in your
remember that
post
I have said
was
looting
inappropriate
of
to the
state
extent
lands
that you linked it to NPP?
it's not just the responsibility of the beneficiaries.
Mr. Chairman,
It's a process.
I have said
And
that
so
for
we
the
need to
purposes
conceptualize
of today's
looting of
discussion,
state lands within
today's
this framework.
vetting. And I
Otherwise,
use
we will
if.
only go after those who loot
If.
the lands
If
and
it
leave
is the
those who
case
facilitate the looting.
that the person was just
So let's
a
deal with
bold
the looting.
investor
When you say
without
looting
any
and those who
authorization,
facilitate, what do you mean by
decided
looting? When
to
you use
invade part of
that
GIS's
word
land.
looting, what exactly
Then
do you mean? Let's
I should
let's
not have linked
understand
MPP to it. But this is a matter that
in its
I will
ordinary
pursue
context. What do you mean by looting?
to know the root cause of
What
this
I mean
particular
by looting
conflict.
of state lands.
Because I know capital moves in directions where its peace and security
Several.
will be assured.
One,
So I'll be very surprised that an investor would do such a thing. But it's
that
possible.
practice
So why
even
not?
today has
Let's
left
go by
many civil
the
servants
scenario that you have set.
trekking
If that
longer
is what it
distances
was, then I should
to
not have linked
ministries to
MPP to
work
it.
because
You
politicians
would agree with me that at
under
the
the
time
guise
you
of
put
all
out the
kinds
post,
of policies in failing
you
this,
did not
that,
verify the
Sell
source of the person's
state
claim.
lands
You would agree with me.
to individuals, some
Honorable Chair,
in public office, some
Honorable
retired
Minority
some
Leader
business people, and
is in
sometimes
opposition.
even,
And even
at
when you are in
very
government,
ridiculously low
it's very difficult
amount.
to verify. Even when
It
the
is one of
party
the
is in
variants.
government, it's very difficult to verify
So,
some of these things.
fortunately,
So
you are
it's
going
a
into the
good
Ministry of Defense.
position that you are taking.
Now let's go to chain.
However, considering the circumstances,
What is chain homes?
at the
No, I'll
time,
explain. Don't worry.
where,
Just take it easy.
where was I
Talk.
supposed to call the Honorable Lands Minister then, or
I'll
the
get
Executive
it.
Secretary of the Lands Commission, or the Land Title
Chain home.
Registry?
that estate at
Was I
Chad,
to call to have
which land was
a
originally
fair response?
owned by the military? That land,
That's why
that
I'm
whole
saying,
area.
considering the
I'm giving
scenario
you a
that you
background.
have
You said you didn't know.
set,
I'm giving you a background.
perfect.
I want to ask a question.
If that is it, then I
You
shouldn't
can't
have
ask-
linked
I'm
people
laying
to
a
it.
foundation.
But trust me,
I said
when I say
something
I'll
and you
pursue
wanted
something,
clarity.
I will pursue it.
So let me help. I'm saying
Simple.
that Chado
At the
area
time
where Chain Homes,
you
that
put out your post,
estate is currently situated.
you did not
Just by it, you
have
see the military cemetery.
evidence
I'm saying
at
that
your
that
hand
whole enclave
that
belonged
it
to the
was
military
an
high command
MPP
of this country.
generated action
I'm laying a
and same
foundation
amounted to looting.
And
at the time
as a result
you put out your posts.
of this city, acquired it from the state.
The circumstantial
At the
evidence
time
was
they
strong.
were getting on the land,
However, if you want
the
hard
military
evidence,
access to the land, and they built that estate.
Chairman,
Would you, as Minister of Defense,
Honorable nominee says that
be interested
to
in
verify
how
is normally
this
difficult.
land was acquired
May I know from you
from
whether
the military?
you are aware
Because this,
of
the whole enclave
the law
was
we
estate land.
passed, the
Would you
RTI
be
law?
interested
You are aware
in
the right to
finding
information
out fit into
law
this
that we passed
first class
as a public officer.
estate
I'm
facility?
aware.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Mr.
did
Chair.
you
But
explore
what I want to know
relying
is it
on
the case
your rights
that
under
Chain Homes enclave
RTI to pursue this
owned
matter
by the
prior to
military? I
putting
believe
out that post
with
at the
your
time?
blessing, when I get there, I will be able to know
Honorable
whether
Leader,
it was owned.
the nominee
Or if,
is not a lawyer, so you
leader
should find out from the
also
nominee whether,
assist a subsequent
having realized that law, he knows any right available for him under the law first. Then you can proceed to ask whether he has explored
Thank you very much.
that
for your
right.
answer.
Learned Senior, I take a cue from you.
Chairman,
we are all learning here. That's fair
I
enough.
would want to go
Okay,
to
so-
number 5.
Back to your question so that we can make progress. You are aware of the existence of the Right to Information Act.
I'm aware.
You are also aware that under the law, you as an ordinary citizen can invoke
But
your
I'm
right
so
to request
concerned
for any
as the
information
majority
from
chief
any
whip,
public institution. You are
who is the
aware.
vanguard of government.
Mr. Chair, I have not read the law,
The ranking member cannot
but
take
it's an information
hours
that has
to
come
ask
to
this
my
question.
attention.
So if he
However,
says that he will
just
continue
as the
tomorrow,
information that came
we
to
have
my
to go
attention
back and
through
come back
mass
tomorrow.
media is being contested.
So as the
and today,
government chief whip, I am so
in a
concerned about the
dilemma.
procedure it's
whether
adopting.
to push my
And
understanding
the government business is
that
affected.
that
You are
is the
supposed
case
to
that
lay
I
a
can
report.
apply,
Because of this, you are unable to
or
move.
I cannot.
And the
But I
service
strongly
report
believe
is
it's
in
something
abeyance.
that I can apply.
And we are allowing
but
the
it is
ranking
not that I
member
have
to
read the
go
law.
on and on, the people's
It
address
is
and all
that
that.
it is
So, Chairman,
understanding
can
of the
we
law
have a
that I
guide
have gleaned
that when the
from discussions
ranking
on the
member
law.
has the
But the right
opportunity
to
to ask
information has had
questions,
its own
can he have 30
issues.
minutes? Can he have 1
If you
hour?
talk to
Can he have 2 hours?
anti-corruption
So that when
activists,
those
Honorable
that
Chairman
race
gave
is
you a cue.
exhausted, we can make progress.
Chairman gave you a
because
cue.
where I am sitting, the
Specifics.
calls I'm getting from my
Specifics.
government and the party,
Please help matters. Your guests are
I'm under
becoming
pressure.
impatient with me.
I'm
But
under
you are
pressure.
the cause.
Yes,
Now,
government business.
this
man,
2 a.m. This 2
Member,
a.m. intruder,
who is the opposition
whose
leader says,
action
I will
resulted in
I will
this
bet for
huge
3
post.
days. No.
Did you? The 2 a.m.
Honourable
the claimant
members,
today, the one
with all due
who
respect,
sent a truck,
I
a tipper
belong
truck
to a school of
to
thought
the GIS land.
that believes
That's
in the fact that
the
when
reference
a
point.
procedure
I'm coming back to a
is
question there.
set down for a right to be
You
exercised,
did a post
you follow that
based
procedure in
on
exercising the right.
an individual
By practice,
sending a tipper truck
convention,
with
an
gravels
agreement at this
to be
committee's
poured
meeting
on GIS,
It was
a
resolved
portion of GIS land,
that
which through the
the
vigilance
ranking
of
member
the security,
of the committee
the
would
person
have
was not successful.
unlimited number
Question.
of questions.
This
to
very
ask.
person,
I do not
Did you
believe
get
that
to know
any
his name
member of the committee
prior to the posting,
available at which that decision was taken should come
Mr. Chair,
to the floor.
no. However, remember
Take a
that I
decision
have said
contrary to what we have
looting
agreed
of state
upon,
lands
contrary to the
is
practice
not
and
just the
convention.
responsibility of the
So
beneficiaries.
please, let us not
It's
create
a
the
process.
impression that
So
this is the
we need
first
to
time
conceptualize
that a
looting
ranking
of
member
state lands
and a
within
minority
this framework.
leader will be
Otherwise,
having
we will only go after those who
unlimited
loot the lands
number
and
of
leave those who
questions
facilitate
to
the
ask.
looting.
So please,
So let's deal with the looting.
the public
When you
is of the
say
view
looting
that I have the
and
power
those who facilitate,
to
what
stop
do you mean by
ranking
looting?
member
When
he's
you use
asking a question.
that
I do
word
not want
looting,
that view
what
to be
exactly do you
fortified
mean?
by
Let's
any member
let's
of the
understand
We've all agreed
it
that we are
in
going
its
by the
ordinary
whole
context.
convention and
What do you mean by looting?
that ranking member of the committee would have
What I mean by
limited number
looting of state
of
lands,
questions
it's, and
So we are leaving it
it's several.
to
One,
the discretion of the ranking member
that
whether he will be
practice
reasonable about
he
asking the
today
question
has left
or he
many
wants to
civil
ask the question
servants
till tomorrow.
trekking
That is the
longer
instruction
distances
that we
to
have
ministries
agreed
to
upon.
work
That is what
because
exactly
politicians,
I am doing.
under the guise
public,
of
general
all
public,
kinds of
please take
policies in failing this, that, sell state lands to individuals, some
Thank you.
in public office, some retired,
Honorable
some business
nominee,
people, and sometimes even at very
inform you
ridiculously low
that you
amounts.
can take a break to
It is one of the variants.
the washroom, take water.
So, fortunately, you are going into the Ministry of Defense.
It's your right.
Now, let's go to chain
Honorable
homes.
Ken Oforiatta
Chain homes.
What is chain homes?
2 days
No, I'll explain. Don't worry.
and
Just take it
between,
easy.
He was allowed
Doc,
coffee break. He was able to take
I'll get there.
some break and came back.
Chain
and all
homes.
that. So
That estate at Chado,
that was it.
which land was originally
I think that
owned by
the
the
honorable
military.
ranking.
That land, that whole area. I'm giving you a background. You said you
This is
didn't
a
know. I'm
house
giving you a
of
background.
records.
I want to
Chairman,
ask
this
a
is a
question.
house of records.
Honorable
ranking
I'm
member,
laying
have the floor.
foundation.
You
I-
are not
I-
a
I
member
said
of this
something
committee,
and you
so you
wanted
don't have the
clarity.
floor.
So let me help. I'm saying that Chado area where chain homes, that estate
I don't want
is
to invoke
currently
the necessary
situated.
orders.
Just by it, you see the military cemetery. I'm saying that that whole enclave belonged to the military high command of this country.
Please,
I'm laying a foundation. And as a result
number 5.
of this loot you are referring to,
5, please.
a private citizen with a registered entity acquired it from the state.
Kindly read aloud
At the time they were getting on the land,
what you posted.
the military stopped them several times. Severally, they were stopped. Then eventually, they had access to the land and they built that estate.
Doc,
Would you,
please, are you aware
as Minister
that
of
at
Defense,
at the
be
time
interested
that you made this
in
post,
how this
the
land was
lithium
acquired
agreement was before
from the
Parliament
military?
for scrutiny?
Because the whole enclave was estate land. Would you be interested in finding out
And
how
I
the
am-
land was acquired by
at
this
the risk of being immoral,
entity to develop
suggesting
it
to you
into
that
this
in
first
all
class
fairness to the government,
estate facility?
Thank you very much,
This
Mr. Chair. I'll
was
be
most
interested
inappropriate.
in knowing every
Say
military
that
land
the lithium
that has gotten into
Ghana's
private
lithium
hands.
was
But
being
what I
given
want to
away
know
for
is
a
it the
peanut.
case that that chain homes enclave was owned by the military? I believe with your blessing, when I get
Yes,
there,
yes,
I'll be
I've
able
asked
to
the
know
question.
whether it was owned or
For
if
instance, if I'm to go
leader
into
can also
what we
assist
can use
subsequently
lithium for.
with what the components of the
What we can use lithium for.
ownership
We
is.
will not treat
That would
lithium
be great.
Thank you very much for your
other
answer, leader.
minerals,
Let's proceed.
even if this is a bit enhanced.
Chairman,
So you may have to
I
understand
would want to go to
Where-
number 5.
some of these thoughts are coming from. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but also agree with
Chairman,
my
let me seek your
position
guide
and
in
respect
this
it.
matter.
Because I'm looking
Chairman,
at the
with all due
alternatives of
respect,
Thank you very much.
Leader may have an unlimited opportunity to ask questions. But I'm so concerned as the majority chief
At the time you made this post,
who is the avant-garde of government business,
had you seen the draft?
The ranking member cannot take 3 hours to ask these questions.
Had you seen it?
So if he says that he will continue tomorrow, we have to go back and come back tomorrow. There must be a limit to what he's doing. In any case, we have 4 other nominees who are waiting. So as the government chief whip, I am so concerned about the procedure it's adopting. And the government business is affected. You are supposed to lay a report. Because of this, you are unable to move.
Say that.
And the service report is in abeyance. And we are allowing the ranking member to go on and on, the people's address and all that. So Chairman, can we have a guide that when the ranking member has the opportunity to ask his questions, can he have 30 minutes, can he have 1 hour, can he have 2 hours?
At the time
so that when that duration is exhausted, we can make progress. Because where I'm sitting, the calls I'm getting from my government and the party
reports
is I'm under pressure.
No, I'm talking about
I'm under pressure.
Agreement.
Yes,
you have not
business
seen
progress.
I've answered that.
Remember, who is the opposition leader says, I will vet for 3 days.
Which media houses did you read their reports?
Honourable members,
which media
with all
houses?
due respect,
The multimedia group.
I belong to a school of thought
Did you read it on
that
their
believes
website?
in the fact that when a procedure is set down for a right to be exercised,
exactly
you follow that procedure in exercising the right.
2 years ago.
By practice, convention, an agreement at this committee's meeting.
Thank you very much. You've answered the question. Please, let's make progress.
A ranking member of the committee would have unlimited number of questions to ask. I do not believe that any member of the committee available at which that decision was taken should come to the floor and take a decision contrary to what we have agreed upon, contrary to the practice and conventions. So please, let us not create the impression that this is the first time that a ranking member and a minority leader will be having unlimited number of questions to ask. So please, the public is of the view that I have the power to stop ranking member when he's asking a question. I do not want that view to be fortified by any member of the committee. We've all agreed that we are going by the old convention and practice. That ranking member of the committee
identify
would have
the document. Is it
unlimited number of questions to ask. So we are leaving it to the discretion of the ranking member, whether he will be reasonable about asking the question or he wants to ask the question tomorrow.
I took a cue
that
from
is the instruction that we have agreed upon, and that is what exactly I am doing. So, public, general public, please take note.
Said it wasn't a source document. So, there's a document in your hand. I just want to know from you, first of all, whether this was a document authored by you.
Thank you, Chairman.
We need to distinguish.
Honorable nominee, may I inform you that you can take a break to use the washroom, take water, get a snack, and would accommodate you. It's your right. We, Honorable Ken Oforiatta, had 2 days of vetting. And in between, he was allowed to break. He was able to take
the document in your hand.
some break and came back and all that. So that was it.
And I thought, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chairman, I think that
if you permit me,
I think that honorable ranking.
that
Chairman,
if
you see,
is that
this is a house
this was
of
a very
records.
bold
Mr. Chairman, this is a house of
investor
records.
who had no
You are not a member of this
just
committee,
went
so you don't have the floor.
in
In
the
fact, as a former member of this committee,
then
there was a reason why
I
will not agree on this disorderly behavior.
MPP to it. But I said I don't believe that kind of situation is the case. And I promise here that I will investigate it as a citizen of Ghana to get to the bottom of it. So I thought we had settled this matter about
Honorable
his
nominee,
scenario.
please kindly
then
have a look at number 5.
Chairman, with that,
Number 5,
with that
please.
explanation and clarity, I would not pursue your post verbatim. No, Doc.
Kindly
I am with you.
read aloud number 5.
I'm
What
acting
you
in
posted there.
fairness to you.
MPP government.
Because your earlier statement did not get to where you've just gotten to.
Turn
That is
around
why
to tax
I brought
electricity.
back the exact post you made. If that is the position you've taken,
Please,
Chairman,
are you aware
if that is the position,
that
then I will not pursue that document.
the
And I'm being very fair.
that you made
I'm
this
just being very
post,
fair. If
the
that's the position
lithium
you've made,
agreement
we
was
don't
before
need to
Parliament for scrutiny?
pursue that. So
It's possible.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's
Exactly.
have some
possible.
soft issues.
And I am
Doc,
Honorable nominee.
being immodest.
Honorable nominee.
politics with me,
In
then
all
don't
fairness,
When the
don't be
question,
irritated when we start the politics.
this was most
Huh?
inappropriate.
I am here.
Honorable
I'm trying
nominee.
to
To say
manage
that
and you want to do
the question asks, you
Ghana's
answered.
lithium
That
was
is for some
being
time.
given away for
It's
a
not a
peanut.
direct post where you will be able to see the document and admit that this is my post. So therefore,
Can I
you have
respond?
a
Yes,
difficulty
I've asked the question.
accepting whether
We differ
this is
in
your
opinion.
post
For instance,
or
if
not.
I'm to go into
And the
what
questioner
we can use
saying that
lithium
that is your
for,
answer.
Okay.
He wants to
what
abandon
we can
any
use
further
lithium
question
for,
on that
we will not treat
and proceed
lithium
on another angle.
like
So
other
let's take it in good
minerals,
faith and
even
allow
if this
him
is a
to
bit
proceed on
enhanced.
another angle.
So you
and
may
not
have to
what you are
understand
not able to identify.
where some
whether
of
it
these
is your
thoughts are
post or
coming
not
from.
your post.
So I'm not disagreeing with you, but also agree with my position and respect it. Because I'm looking at the alternate use of lithium.
Does not mean that
Thank you very much. Can we make progress?
and you are supposed to give
Honorable nominee,
application, you deny me. I'm telling you.
greatest respect to
You
you.
cannot, because yes, there is,
At the-
and committee members benefited. Yes, there is
Have
something
you
like
seen
that.
the
When I
draft
was a defense committee member,
lithium
your ranking, your
agreement? Had you
members
seen it?
benefited. I am saying it on authority.
Honorable.
They did. They even had more than with the FPP
Such
members.
questions
They did. I'm
with
not.
the
That's a
greatest
fact.
of respect
Kennedy Japan was the chair of the Defense
are
and Interior
unfair
Committee.
to
They benefited.
citizens.
So I'm telling you that when you are
It takes
giving,
away
don't think that because
the
I
role
told you,
of
you will not
the
allocate.
full
Honorable-
estate of the realm.
Honorable ranking member.
Unless we are to
Honorable
say
ranking
that
member, I have also been in this
citizens
house for
should
some
not
time.
Take anything.
I
Honorable, I only
was
ask
a
you
member
whether-
of parliament,
respectfully.
I have not seen
and at
it.
the
No,
point
no,
became the
today.
ranking
No,
member
not
for
serious.
Constitutional,
Right.
Legal and Parliamentary
It's
Affairs
okay. I
Committee.
don't. Yes,
Very important
I don't
committee
want.
of
You
Parliament.
know, I would.
But I
so
know nothing
you confirm
called
that at
protocol.
the time you made this
What
post,
really happened is
that
that
government
our
was selling lithium at a
constituents
peanut. You had not
come
seen the
with the
agreement.
form.
You confirm.
Then,
I
as a
had not
member
seen
of
the agreement, but I had
Parliament,
seen
you have to be
reports
pleading
coming from
with the
reputable
sector
media
ministers
houses.
whether or not
I'm
they
talking
can
about
help.
the agreement.
So that
You
is
have
what
not seen the agreement.
Yeah, I've
But I
answered
have not
that,
seen
and
a
I've
situation
also
where they say
suggested
that
that I have
a member,
read
you have
reports
this
coming
number
from
of people go to your
reputable media
constituency,
houses.
bring them to come and
Which
join
media
me.
houses did you read their reports?
And I'll keep on making this
Which media
particular
houses?
It includes
point.
the multimedia group.
The
The
Ghanaians. So I
multimedia.
beg,
Did you read it on their website?
if some people were treated that way,
Mr. Chair, I'm
then
unable to
there is an element
recall
of discrimination.
exactly
Because
what
some of us
happened like 2
didn't
years
know
ago. This
what
was,
is even protocol. We go to beg,
or like about a year
you
ago,
plead
exactly
like
where
you are becoming
I read
Thank you very much. You've
defense
answered the
minister.
question. Please, let's
it
make
is time
progress.
for recruitment into the military.
This is another document.
You will see members of parliament coming to your office to come and plead and intervene on behalf of their constituents. But you won't tell them that, oh, I have 10 members, go and bring them automatically to come and join the military. That is not it. So let me use the opportunity to clear the doubt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Recruitments and enlistments will follow the rules of engagement strictly. You have my assurance.
Honorable nominee, what is your party's or your government defense policy? What is your government?
Honorable nominee, most respectfully, you have in your hand a document. First, identify the document. Is it a document that was authored by you? Please.
Mr. Chair, Honorable Leader is back to the GIS land.
Because at the time, Chairman, I took a cue from Chairman that because it was a media reportage, it would be fair for us to get a source document, which you yourself said it wasn't a source document. So there's a document in your hand. I just want to know from you, first of all, whether this was a document authored by you.
Honorable,
Yes.
you see, we need to distinguish between posts like this, which I can see my profile on and everything, you understand? As compared to something printed on this, you understand? And to expect me, after several months, to say that page 1, page 2,
Okay, that's okay.
It's very unfair.
Doc, that's okay. That's okay. Doc, please, the document in your hands.
Which one?
The one I just gave you.
Okay.
Doc, be patient with me, respectfully.
I'm very patient.
Yeah, sure. So,
and I thought,
no, we relax.
Mr. Chair, if you permit me, I thought we had settled on this matter. That if his view is that this was a very bold investor who had no approvals from government, just went in and decided to loot part of GIS's land, then if we are to go by that, then I should not have linked MPP to it. But I said I don't believe that kind of situation is the case. And I promise here that I will investigate it as a citizen of Ghana to get to the bottom of it. So I felt we had settled this matter about GIS's land. His scenario, I considered that if his scenario was the case, then I shouldn't have linked MPP to it.
Chairman, with that explanation and clarity, I would not pursue. I'm acting in fairness to you, because your earlier statement did not get to where you've just gotten to. That is why I brought back the exact post you made. If that is the position, Chairman, if that is the position, then I will not pursue that document. And I'm being very fair with you.
Very well.
I'm just being very fair. If that's a consensus, pursue that. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's
exactly.
have some soft issues.
Let's move on.
Doc,
honorable nominee,
with me. If you
honorable nominee,
politics with me, then don't.
When the question
be irritated when we start the politics. Huh? I am here.
Honorable nominee,
then you want to do party.
The question asked, you answered. That is for some time. It's not a direct post where you will be able to see the document and admit that this is my post. So therefore, you have a difficulty accepting whether this is your post or not. And the questioner is saying that if that is your answer, he wants to abandon any further question on that and proceed on another angle. So let's take it in good faith and allow him to proceed on another angle, and not what you are not able to identify whether it is your post or not your post.
And let me remind you on a lighter note that the fact that I'm grilling you does not mean that when you get there and you are supposed to give protocol allocation, you deny me. I'm telling you, you cannot, because yes, there is, and committee members benefited. Yes, there is something like that. When I was a defense committee member, your ranking, your members benefited. I am saying it on authority. They did. They even had more than with the MPP members. They did. I'm not. That's a fact. Kennedy Japan was the chair of the Defense and Interior Committee. They benefited. So I'm telling you that when you are giving, don't think that because I grilled you, you will not allocate.
Honorable ranking member.
I did.
Honorable ranking member, I have also been in this house for some time. I was a member of parliament and at the point became the ranking member for Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, a very important committee of parliament. But I know nothing called protocol. What really happened is that our constituents will come with the form. Then as a member of parliament, you have to be pleading with the sector ministers whether or not they can help.
Thank you very much.
So that is what I know. But I have not seen a situation where they say that.
I don't know what you should read.
Yes, so 6.4, public safety and security. Public safety and security declined significantly since 2017. We have seen an explosion of violent crime, partisan political capture of security services, and falling professional standards. The next NDC government will critically review the national security architecture and comprehensively implement reforms to ensure professionalism. The reforms will primarily focus on equipping all security agencies to effectively execute their mandate towards ensuring the well-being, personal safety, and security in Ghana. The following policies will be implemented. Then it goes.
Hold on a second. Let's stop there. Now, would you be surprised from what you've just said? And I will quote: public safety and security have declined significantly since 2017. We have seen an explosion of violent crime, partisan political capture of security services, and falling professional standards. I'll pick it one after the other. One, would you be surprised with statistics from the Ghana Police Service to the effect that public safety and security have rather improved? Would you be surprised to receive statistics, data from the Ghana Police Service that since 2017 up until now, we have seen an improved public safety and security? Would you be surprised to see that data and statistics? You'll be surprised.
Yes.
Very well. Next. Would you again be surprised to receive data and statistics from the police that we have seen a reduction in violent crime since 2017? Would you be surprised?
Yes.
All right. Now, Doc, I suggest to you that what you just read has nothing to do with the defense policy of your government. I want to suggest that to you.
Honorable, you see, this is why you should have listened to me. Because to have a defense policy, it has to be a progeny of the national security architecture. And that was even what was lacking in the 2012 or so defense policy. At the time that there was no national security strategy. So that is why I was asking, should I go and read Ghana Armed Forces? Is that what you are asking for? Or you want the entirety? Honorable, please, I need your attention. Yes.
Have our attention.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So I'm saying that I was trying to make that point, that defense policy emanates from a bigger national security strategy, architecture. So you cannot just zoom into the Ghana Armed Forces. That is why I took it from there. And then when you said no, I then went down to the Ghana Armed Forces. Then I was asking you, should I read Ghana Armed Forces? The Honorable Boamah said, no, I should go back to the public safety and security. So if you guide me appropriately and provide exactly what you want, I have the document here. I brought it because of questions such as this, so that we can refer. I will gladly read them, whichever one that you want.
Honorable nominee, you stated in your CV that you were a Catholic, correct? A practicing one, for that matter.
Yes, correct.
To what extent would you a Roman Catholic? Which parish, please?
Christ the King. Christ the King.
Very well. To what extent has the Catholic Church prepared you in moral values to the extent that you are able to embrace diversity, especially as you assume this office as defense minister of your country?
Thank you very much. I owe my ability to even be in national politics partly to what I went through in the Catholic Church. We spoke about the Cadet Commandery 403 in Koforidua, which I was president of. You come across several people, both privileged and underprivileged youth. You deal with all of them coming from different backgrounds. As a former mass servant, you come across many people. Again, we've interacted with several priests, both foreign and Ghanaian priests, who really exposed us to the real world and answered our questions, some of them which bordered on even the Trinity and all. So in terms of diversity, the Catholic Church is a very diverse church. People from all walks of life, several backgrounds, and I have interacted with them, and I still continue to interact with them.
So how does this background prepare you to embrace the diversity you are going to face at the defense ministry?
I go there not just as somebody that the Catholic Church has prepared. I go there as someone who has been baked in many ways through different experiences. My work with the military, medical practice, other political engagements, and everything. So it is holistic. The values that we've been taught, the Christian value of tolerance, is also something that leads me, and I believe that even people who deliberately will decide to take me on the rough road, they believe that he's very forgiving. So he's likely to forgive them. That is why they continue to do it. So I'm going to the ministry as a very tolerant person, somebody who believes in the doctrine of love your neighbor as yourself.
Of course, your faith is well-founded.
Extremely.
Let me conclude by saying that this morning there was a little issue about your appearance. We had received some information to the effect that you were to be here at 9, apparently the letter to you stated 11. And I think my respected colleague at the bar, Madam Joyce Boamah was quick to alert us. But this was after I had passed some comment. Let me unreservedly say sorry to you to the extent that some listeners and viewers had construed that to mean that you were late in coming to us. I mean, I think it is only fair that I, in your presence, reiterate that point. So it was no fault of yours. That said, I have nothing useful to add to all the questions I've asked you. I wish you well. You would hear from us as a committee. Thank you very much, sir.
Honourable members, thank you very much. Let me also add that apology for any comment coming from any member of the committee regarding you coming before us late. In the morning, I stated clearly to all the members of the committee that in life, patience is the key. So sometimes we need to be patient. There is an adage in my language that it is out of patience that you'll be able to operate an ant so as to be able to see the intestine. So patience is a cardinal point in life, so that we hasten slowly. Honourable members, at long last, we've come to the end of the vetting of the Minister Designate for Defence. Honourable members, permit me to proceed to recognize his guests. We have in our midst Lieutenant General Bismarck Onwuna, Chief of the Army. We have Vice Admiral Issa Yakubu, Chief of the Naval Staff. We have Air Commodore Eric Ajafrimpong, Acting Chief of the Air Staff. We have Honorable Joyce Bawa Muntari, Senior Presidential Advisor and Special Aide. We have Honorable Marietta Brew Opon, or Apia Opon, former Attorney General and Minister responsible for justice, now legal advisor to the. We have Regional Chairman, Ashanti, Upper West, Western North, and Eastern Region. And we also have Honorable Dr. Kobna Dufo, former Minister responsible for finance. You are all welcome. If I've not been able to mention your name, you are also welcome. Honorable nominee, you will surely hear from the committee and you are hereby discharged.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
The next nominee should take his seat. Yes. Honorable, please take your seat.
Some NDC members on the committee, that is, I'm talking about Roxy Nelson Dapamako, who is the majority chief whip, made an intervention when he thought that Alexander Afenyamark, the minority leader, was, going beyond expectation. However, the chairman of the committee also stood up and said that the laws permit the ranking and the leadership of parliament who are on the vetting committee to ask as many questions as they deem fit. Although there should be some reasonable timing to it, he thought that it was out of order for the majority chief whip, Dafameko, to ask Alexander Afenyo-Markin 45 minutes to an hour. And that's the vetting that has been ongoing since morning. Even much earlier, you could tell from the apology that Alexander Afenyo-Markin rendered to the nominee, and which was supported by the chair of the committee, about the beginning of the entire vetting process. So today, 5 people were expected, if our documentation is right, 5 people were expected to appear before the committee. But since morning, 9 a.m. when the vetting was expected to start, only one person has been able to start and finish. So that is why they asked that they wanted to apologize, because the issue that led to the delay in starting of the vetting was not a fault of Dr. Omane Boamah, but some other issues which had to do with Oliver Barker-Vormawor, who had alleged that some of the nominees of John Dramani Mahama, or well, he didn't mention names, but he just alleged that the nominees had been making some payments to the committee members, more or less bribing them. And that issue became quite heated, where the NPP minority on the committee actually said that then they were not going to participate in the vetting process. But that they went into conclave to try and resolve it, and they had to come back and conclude the vetting. So next on your screen now, you can see Emmanuel Kwejo Ejekum, Member of Parliament. Now he's going to the position of Minister of State in charge of special initiatives. Let's go to the Parliament now.
1973 in Kranza, Bono East. I schooled in SDA Primary. Then I had my middle school education in Roma Catholic Middle School in Kranza. I attended Kumasi Technical Institute. Then I went to Southgate College, then Reading College. Then I did my bachelor's at Kingston University. I did my postgraduate diploma in Westminster University. Then my IMBA in the University of Applied Science in Germany. I've worked as a municipal chief executive in Kranza, then as a member of parliament from 2013 to 2017, then a member of parliament from 2021 to 2025. Then I'm back again as a member of parliament. Thank you.
Can I start? Can I start?
Thank you very much. So sometimes we need to be patient. There is an adage in my language that it is out of patience that you'll be able to operate an ant so as to be able to see the intestine. So patience is a cardinal point in life, so that we hasten slowly. Honourable members, at long last, we've come to the end of the vetting of the Minister Designate for Defence. Honourable members, permit me to proceed to recognize his guests. We have in our midst Lieutenant General Bismarck Onwuna, Chief of the Army. We have Vice Admiral Issa Yakubu, upon or appear upon former Attorney General and Minister responsible for justice, now legal advisor to the President. We have Honorable Faustina Nelson, Senior Comrade. We have Obobia Dako Opoku, Deputy Communication Director, NDC. We have Mahdi Jibril, Deputy Election Director, NDC. And we have Tanko Rashid, Deputy Election Director, NDC. We have Regional Chairman, Ashanti, Upper West, Western North, and Eastern Region. And we also have Honorable Dr. Kobna Dufo, former minister responsible for finance. You are all welcome. If I've not been able to mention your name, you are also welcome. Honorable nominee, you will surely hear from the committee and you are hereby discharged.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
The next nominee should take his seat.
Yes, no lunch, no anything.
Honorable Ajekum, please take your seat.
And this has been our exclusive coverage of the vetting of Minister for Defense Designate Dr. Edward Omane Boamah. It's been quite a long day for him and his guests, and clearly you can tell that they are all looking hale and hearty after almost 5 hours or so of grueling vetting. And it is understandable because of the sensitive nature of the position that he is going to man. That is the defense ministry. And it tells you, I mean, primarily that is supposed to talk about the safety and security of the entire nation, our borders, both internally as well. There are key things that go through his desk, you know, so it's very important that they ask him all the critical questions regarding what the NDC's strategy will be in ensuring they keep Ghana safe. So the next member to appear before the committee has been called, and clearly I'm sure many of the members of the vetting committee were all thinking they may have to take a break for some time before the next person comes, but that does not seem to be the case. So they are also expecting to have Emmanuel Kwejo Ajekum, who is a member of parliament, and he is the one that is going to be vetted for the position he's going for, which is the Minister of State in charge of special initiatives. Special initiatives. What exactly will that mean? I'm sure it will be part of the questions he will be asked to try and explain what the special initiatives the NDC government intends to roll out and how they intend to do that. And even before we come to the next nominee, many of you have been following the conversation and the last stretch of the banter between, more or less, you can call it a banter, between Alexander Afenyomarkin, the minority leader and ranking on the committee, and the questions he sought to ask or the answers he was seeking from the defense minister nominee or designate, Dr. Edward Omane Boamah. Places he went to, issues he touched on, and many were even, suggesting that it looks as though the ranking member was trying to get under the skin of the defense minister. But, I mean, make of it what you will, he thought that it was necessary to ask critical questions of the nominee and then get the answers, whether or not they are directly related to the position he's going for, which is the defense ministry. You cannot really tell. And it even veered into a mini banter between the chair of the committee and also some NDC members on the committee. That is, I'm talking about Roxy Nelson Dapamakwa, who is the majority chief whip, made an intervention when he thought that Alexander Afenyomarkin, the minority leader, was, going beyond expectation. However, the chairman of the committee also stood up and said that the laws permit the ranking and the leadership of parliament who are on the vetting committee to ask as many questions as they deem fit. Although there should be some reasonable timing to it, he thought that it was out of order for the majority chief whip, Dapamakwa, to ask Alexander Afenyomarkin to either end his questioning or stick to a particular time frame, whether an hour or two. And that degenerated, into other conversations where some other members of the vetting committee had to also come in to, assert or, deny some of the issues that had come up. So it's been quite heated in the last 45 minutes to an hour. And that's the vetting that has been ongoing since morning. Even much earlier, you could tell from the apology that Alexander Afenyo-Markin rendered to the nominee and which was supported by the chair of the committee about the beginning of the entire vetting process. So today, 5 people were expected, if our documentation is right, 5 people were expected to appear before the committee, but since morning, 9 a.m. when the vetting was expected to start, only one person has been able to start and finish. So that is why they asked that they wanted to apologize, because the issue that led to the delay in starting of the vetting was not a fault of Dr. Omane Boamah, but some other issues which had to do with Oliver Barker-Vormawor, who had alleged that some of the nominees of John Dramani Mahama, or well, he didn't mention names, but he just alleged that the nominees had been making some payments to the committee members, more or less bribing them. And that issue became quite heated, where the NPP minority on the committee actually said that then they were not going to participate in the vetting process. But that, they went into conclave to try and resolve it, and they had to come back and conclude the vetting. So next on your screen now, you can see Emmanuel Kwejo Ejekum, Member of Parliament. Now he's going to the position of Minister of State in charge of special initiatives. Let's go to the Parliament now.
1973 in Kranza, Bono East. I schooled in SDA Primary. Then I had my middle school education in Roman Catholic Middle School in Kranza. I attended Kumasi Technical Institute. Then I went to Southgate College, then Reading College. Then I did my bachelor's at Kingston University. I did my postgraduate diploma in Westminster University. Then my IMBA in the University of Applied Science in Germany. I've worked as a municipal chief executive in Kranza, then as a member of parliament from 2013 to 2017, then a member of parliament from 2021 to 2025. Then I'm back again as a member of parliament. Thank you.
Can I start? Thank you very much. I will proceed to give the floor to Honorable Patrick Boamah to start with the questions.
Chairman, thank you very much. Let me congratulate the nominee. We all know Honorable Ajekum. Honorable Ajekum has been Deputy Minister for Local Government before.
That's right, Chairman.
And you've been nominated to the High Office of Minister of State, Office of the President.
Rightly so, Chairman.
Within the 60 ministers limit of President Mahama, as he promised the good people of Ghana.
That's right, and so.
I believe you are nominee 45 or 40.
I'm not too sure with the numbers, but I'm within.
So, Chairman, my first question is, what are you going to be doing at the presidency as a Minister of State?
Right, thank you very much, Chairman. I'm the Minister of State in charge of the President's special initiatives.
Please, the question has been answered. He's in charge of the special initiatives.
What does it entail? Yes, there was your clerk.
Our dear guest, nobody should interfere with the nominee who is on oath.
Question. So, you said you are the nominee for special initiatives, and the country wants to know what it entails and why those initiatives are under no ministry. Because the president has, through an EI, created 23 ministries. So why the need for a special initiative minister under his office?
Right, at any point in time, His Excellency the President can decide and say that this very initiative is so special and I need to work on it and get a resource at this particular time. So it needs an attention beyond the normal routine. That is why His Excellency the President has appointed me as the Minister of State in charge of special initiative.
Can you give us 5 of such initiatives that you believe the President will be assigning you to?
Right. I wouldn't say that the President will assign me, but I can mention 5 initiatives that His Excellency the President might have assigned me to do. Some of his initiatives is to take care of or to solve a particular problem. For example, the light railway system to ease congestion in Accra is an initiative, at least to solve a problem. Apart from that, I can also mention the labor export program, which is also meant to at least take care of our excess skill in Ghana. His Excellency the President at some point probably want to make the Parliament of Ghana one of the most environmentally friendliest parliaments in the world. And therefore, there has to be a particular attention to that initiative. So it's also another initiative. And His Excellency is looking at trying to put enough or sufficient infrastructure for e-vehicles in the country. And I think it's an initiative that needs an extra attention. If I may say, probably the national sanitation, the reintroduction of it, is to also take care of a particular problem that we have in Accra and Kumasi. So these are the few initiatives that I can mention.
So let me mold my last question. Traffic congestion. You have Minister for Transport, you have Minister for Roads and Highways, the local assemblies are there, and you think it will be an initiative that your office will be looking at. 1, labor export. You have Honorable Peppo being nominated as Minister for Labor and Employment. And you also spoke about Parliament being an environmentally friendly area. A Minister of State has been nominated for climate change and sustainability. There will be duplication of roles there. E-levy, e-vehicles. You have the Ministry of Transport. You have the Minister of Energy and Green Energy Transition. That one too, I believe there will be some duplication of roles there. And the National Sanitation Day. What will Honorable Ahmed be doing our local government since the Sanitation Ministry has been subsumed under the local government ministry? In just 2 minutes, tell us and decouple your role from some of the duplications that are identified.
Right, thank you very much. It's basically not going to be a duplication. For example, if a Minister of State have been assigned to work on a light railway, I will be collaborating with the Minister for Transport and also any other minister that is involved in doing such a job. So there wouldn't be any conflict at all.
Well, thank you very much, nominee. Congratulations.
I'll proceed to give the floor to Honorable Haji Aladi Ayamba.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee, let me say a big congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You have worked so hard. You have always been there. And from your responses, I know you are going to do a yeoman's job. Because once you are ready to collaborate and to work hand in hand with others, there's no way there's going to be anything like conflict of activities or work or whatsoever. So we are always there. Wish you the best. Continue smiling and work hard so that the NDC will continue to be in power and Ghana will be the beneficiary until. Congratulations.
You are done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will give the floor to Onaudo Lesowa. Please.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable nominee, I wish to congratulate you on your nomination by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who said he's going to appoint 60 ministers, and he has done just that. He says and he does it. I know you'll be able to deliver on your mandate, and I want to wish you the very best. Keep on smiling, like Hajia said, because when we meet you, you are always smiling, and we wish you the very best. And let your doors be open to us, so that when we knock on it, not just us, anybody that comes to your door, every Ghanaian, if you are available, avail yourself. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
I'll give the floor to Honorable Omane.
Honorable Ajekum, congratulations. I wish you well. I just have one question for you. Can you elaborate on or explain to Ghanaians that the labor export would not bring brain drain?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The labor export, I call it something that is actually not going to be a brain drain at all. The reason why I'm saying this is it's rather going to be a brain gain. Why is it going to be a brain gain? We have excess labor in Ghana.